Hi everyone, this is Rufaro and welcome to my channel. Happy festive season, happy holidays. In today's video, I will be going over what an emergency savings account is, what an emergency fund is, why you need it, how to set it up, where you set it up, and just the nitty-gritty of this account. So I decided to go over this video with you because this is stuff people just don't talk about. Who likes to talk about savings for emergencies? It's the same reason we don't like to talk about insurance, we don't like to talk about saving and things like that because it seems boring, or we think, no, I'm good, I don't need it. But the pandemic last year showed us that we need to be prepared. We always need to be prepared, and so I'm coming to you with this video to help you do just that as you enter into 2022. So stay tuned. So an emergency account is a cash fund of money that you put aside to help you in cases of financial emergencies, health emergencies, any type of emergencies for you and your family. Emergency fund is an account that you open with your bank account or with your credit union that lets you save money in it. It's basically like a savings account. The objective with this is it's for an emergency. So an emergency does not mean, oh, I saw this cute bag and I really need to buy it. Ooh, I saw these cute shoes, I really need to buy them. Or, ooh, I see this for like 40 people, oh my goodness, I see this sports shirt and I really need to buy it. No, that's not what emergencies are for. Or if someone needs to borrow money, oh my goodness, I need to borrow money, can you? No. An emergency is an account, is for money that you do not touch unless you really need to touch it. So why do you need this? Why are we here talking about emergencies when life is good, when we're living this soft life? So you need an emergency fund in the case of emergencies I mentioned earlier. When you have emergencies, you're not trying to think of, oh my goodness, where can I get the money? Oh my goodness, what can I sell quickly to make some money? You want to use that time to focus on the emergency. If you've had a car crash and you need to cover more things that your insurance can't cover, focus on your car, focus on your health because you already have that money. Or if you lose your job, don't start stressing, where am I going to get money? This is. Focus all your efforts and attention on getting another job because you will have an emergency fund to look after you for that while. These are the reasons why you need an emergency fund. So you remove that stress, the financial stress associated with the scenario, and all your attention and all your energy can go towards solving the problem. Another reason why you want an emergency fund, so especially right now, so many people have been buying properties and buying houses, which is crazy because the prices are so high. But advice I got growing up is always have an emergency fund before you purchase a house. You want to have this set up because you might have moments where you don't have income coming in, but you need to keep the house running or you need to pay your mortgage. But you have this pool of money saved so you can always take out from it and make sure that you're good to go for a couple of months. So where do you save it? So you can create an emergency fund with your current bank account. So you can just open a regular savings account and don't ever touch that money. Something I would advise is two options. Open a high yield account separate from any of your personal accounts. So for instance, if you use Chase or Wells Fargo, open a high yield account with Capital One Bank or with Marcus by Goldman Sachs or with Ali Bank. I have a video that I will link where I talk about high yield accounts. The great thing about that is you get some interest. So I believe the interest is probably 0.05 on the money. Unlike a regular savings account where you get almost zero interest. Another place where you can have your emergency fund is a credit union. I would say credit union because credit unions are usually quite far from where people stay, or some of them don't have an e-bank, so making it a lot harder for you to access the funds. So the big question, how are you going to open this emergency fund? So when you're opening an emergency fund, you want to make sure that you save money for 3 to 6 months of all your expenses. So for instance, if a month your expenses are about $1,000 or $800, then you make sure you save $1,000 times 6 months in an account that you do not touch. I repeat, in an account that you do not touch unless it's an emergency that you classify as a proper emergency. Some people go as far as having an emergency fund for 10 months or even for 1 year, which I think is a little extreme, but I think if I, being extreme, I could go towards the 10-month mark. So if you backtrack, right, you want to take a list and write down all your expenses. So look at your receipts, look at your budget. If you've never done a budget, go to your receipts, go to your phone online account, your banking online account, and see your expenses. Jot down your rent or your mortgage, jot down your groceries, jot down your utilities, jot down your transportation, leisure, which is very important because sometimes you want to buy clothes or have a night out. So leisure and other. Then you total that, and those would be your monthly expenses. Once you have your monthly expenses, you want to multiply your monthly expenses by 6 if you're doing 6 months, or by 3 if you're doing 3 months. Then you have your total. So now you're figuring, okay, Rafaro, how on earth do I start to figure out how much I should be saving from my income, from my salary? So what you do is, if you look at your income, when a lot of people make this mistake, they look at how much they make and they think, okay, let's say you earn $60,000 a year, right? But remember, you have to include taxes. So make sure when you're looking at the money you get, it is your disposable, it is your income after taxes. So if, for example, every 2 weeks you earn, or every month you earn $2,000 after taxes, so you have $2,000, that is how much you have. And then your expenses per month are about $1,000. And I've broken this down. Let's say it's $700 for rent, $200 for groceries, $50 for transport, and $50 for others, making a total $1,000. So when you say your income minus your expenses, you're left with $1,000 of just free money that you can do anything with. So if you want to be a little more conservative and not too aggressive, and you say, okay, I think I have time, I can start building up my emergency funds over a while, you can start off with putting 20% down each month. So if you say 20% of $1,000, that'll be $200, my bad. And each month you're putting $200 until you make that amount for your emergency funds. In this case, where the amount you need is $6,000, because it's $1,000 of expenses times 6, which is $6,000. So if you said $6,000 divided by 200, that would be 30 months, which would be about 2.5 years. So it'll take you 2.5 years to save your emergency fund. And if you said, I want to be a little more aggressive, I don't really need to touch that $1,000 I have extra, so I'm going to put $500 each month, then within a year you really would have saved your emergency fund. So that's basically how you set up your emergency fund. Once you've saved your emergency funds, please, and I repeat, do not touch that money. Don't touch it. Have separate money for investing, separate money for bills, separate money for gifting people, or for whatever you do, if you tithe at church or anything else. But do not touch that emergency fund. It's very important to forget about it, because when you have an emergency, you can pull that money out and use it. Or when something big you need to purchase, like a property, that emergency fund, you could use some of the interest from that emergency fund if you had it in a high yield account to towards whatever project you're working on. So as you leave this festive season, as you enter 2022, think about building an emergency fund to protect you and your family in the coming year. Because the last thing you want is to rack up your credit cards, be stuck with bad credit, be stuck borrowing money from people. You want to be financially fit. You want to be financially fly. Bye, guys.